A splinter. It's one of the smallest injuries a human can get. A tiny piece of wood, no bigger than a grain of rice, slips beneath your skin. It hurts. It's annoying. You pull it out with a pair of tweezers, wash the wound, and forget it ever happened. But now, erase everything around you. No tweezers, no soap, no bandages, no antibiotics, no hospitals. You're standing in Africa 200,000 years ago. Every tree around you is covered in sharp bark. Every spear is made from wood. Every fire requires gathering branches. Every single day, your hands are touching things that can stab, cut, or splinter your skin. Suddenly, a splinter isn't a minor inconvenience anymore. It's a question of survival. Because what most people never realize is that one tiny piece of wood could kill an ancient human. But that's only the beginning. The real mystery isn't how they remove splinters. It's why our ancestors became surprisingly good at treating them long before medicine even existed. Imagine waking up before sunrise. The air is cold. Your tribe has already begun searching for wood to keep the fire alive. Children collect sticks. Hunters repair broken spears. Women strip bark from branches to weave baskets. Everyone works with wood. And then a sharp fragment snaps loose and drives deep into someone's palm. Today, you'd barely think about it. Back then, that hand might be the difference between eating or starving.
A hunter with an infected hand can't throw a spear. A mother carrying a baby can't gather food. An injured elder can't prepare tools. In prehistoric life, there were no sick days. Every hand mattered. And that's exactly why evolution quietly shaped one of the most remarkable medical instincts humans possess. Long before anyone understood bacteria, people understood pain. Not because they knew what caused it, but because pain taught them. Leave something inside your skin and it keeps hurting. Ignore it and it gets worse. Generation after generation, humans learned a simple lesson. Foreign things don't belong inside the body, so they removed them. But how?
The answer probably wasn't a single invention. It was hundreds of thousands of years of experimentation. Some splinters could be squeezed out. Others were picked out using fingernails. Sharper thorns, fish bones, or animal teeth may have become nature's first tweezers. Archaeologists have discovered remarkably fine bone tools dating back tens of thousands of years. Many were probably used for sewing leather, but tools that delicate could just as easily remove tiny fragments buried beneath the skin. And this is where the story becomes even stranger. Ancient humans didn't need microscopes to understand infection. They couldn't see bacteria, but they could see what happened afterward. A wound became red, then swollen, then hot. Pus appeared. The injured person became weaker. Sometimes they developed fever. Sometimes they died. Nobody knew about microbes, but everyone recognized the pattern. If a splinter stayed inside, bad things often followed. So removing it became one of the oldest forms of preventative medicine. Thousands of generations before doctors, experience became humanity's greatest teacher. But splinters created another problem. Removing them hurts. Anyone who's ever dug around under their fingernail knows that. Now imagine doing it with a sharp thorn. No anesthetic, no antiseptic. Just another person carefully digging into your hand while you try not to move. The process must have required incredible trust. Which raises another fascinating question. Who actually removed the splinter? Probably not the injured person. Try pulling a tiny splinter from the center of your own palm. It's difficult. Now imagine no mirrors, poor lighting, and primitive tools. Another pair of eyes would have made all the difference. That means something extraordinary may have happened around countless prehistoric campfires. People cared for one another. Not because they were doctors, because cooperation kept everyone alive. A child removes a splinter from an elder. A parent helps a hunter. A friend carefully pulls a thorn from another friend's foot. Small acts of care repeated over hundreds of thousands of years helped shape the social species we are today. But the body itself had another trick, one that modern medicine still relies on: inflammation. The moment a splinter enters your skin, millions of immune cells rush toward it. Blood flow increases. White blood cells attack invading microbes. Fluid surrounds the area. Sometimes, the body slowly pushes the splinter back toward the surface all by itself. It's an astonishing defense mechanism, and it's older than humanity itself. Our ancestors didn't invent it, they inherited it from millions of years of evolution.
In many cases, their own immune system finished the job. But not every splinter was made of clean wood. Ancient landscapes were full of dirt, animal waste, fungi, and dangerous bacteria. A dirty splinter buried deep inside the foot could become far more dangerous than the wound itself. Walking became painful. Hunting became impossible. The tribe slowed down. One tiny injury could affect an entire group. That's why prehistoric medicine wasn't really about curing disease. It was about preventing small problems from becoming deadly ones. And ancient humans became surprisingly creative. Some cultures likely soaked wounds in clean water from flowing streams. Others discovered that certain plant resins formed protective coatings. Tree sap may have helped seal wounds while keeping dirt out. Honey, when it could be found, naturally slows the growth of many microbes. Long before anyone understood chemistry, people could notice that some treated wounds healed better than others. Nobody knew why. Observation came first. Science arrived thousands of years later. Then came fire. Not because fire sterilized metal tools, there weren't any, but because smoke changed everything. Campfires dried wooden tools. Heat hardened spear points. Smoke reduced insects around camps. Some smoke even contains compounds that discourage certain microbes. Without realizing it, fire became one of humanity's earliest allies against infection. And here's something almost nobody thinks about. Splinters didn't only come from trees. Bone could splinter, animal horns, sharp reeds, fish spines, cactus needles. Even stone flakes from tool making could become lodged beneath the skin. Ancient humans lived inside a world filled with tiny, hidden dangers. Every day was full of opportunities for small injuries. Which explains something remarkable about the human hand. Look closely at your fingertips. They're incredibly sensitive, not just for holding objects, but for finding things. Run your thumb across your palm. You'll immediately notice even the tiniest bump. That sensitivity evolved because our hands became our primary survival tools. They built shelters, made weapons, prepared food, cared for children, and yes, found splinters. The same fingertips you use today to unlock a phone were once specialized survival instruments. Then archaeologists began uncovering another clue. Some prehistoric skeletons show severe injuries that healed completely. Broken legs, crushed arms, even amputations. These people survived for years afterward, which tells us something powerful. Ancient humans weren't simply surviving alone. They were caring for each other. If a tribe could nurse someone through a broken limb, helping remove a splinter would have been almost routine. Compassion, it turns out, may be one of humanity's oldest technologies. And yet the strangest part of this story isn't the splinter. It's your reaction to it. The moment something slips beneath your skin, your brain immediately wants it gone. You don't consciously calculate the risk. You don't perform a medical diagnosis. You instinctively pick at it. That urge isn't random. It's ancient. It's the echo of hundreds of thousands of years when ignoring something so small could cost a hunter the use of a hand, a parent the ability to carry a child, or a tribe one more person needed to survive another winter. The next time a tiny splinter finds its way into your finger, you'll probably reach for tweezers without thinking. But hidden inside that ordinary moment is one of the oldest survival instincts your species has ever carried. Because long before cities, before writing, before kings, before medicine, before history itself, someone looked at a tiny piece of wood buried beneath their skin and realized it had to come out.